Greetings all. Well, the rain stopped temporarily. Yes, we have a dry day. I'm going to get out the mower and the weed whacker and start to trim some stuff around here. There's a whole lot of things to do. I've been way behind the 8 ball with all this weather. The rain's coming back, so it doesn't matter too much, I guess, but it's coming back at us pretty soon here. We're going to have it by the week again. But for the meantime, it's nice and sunny here, warm and fairly dry. Yeah. Well, I got an email back from our senator here, Joy, about the legal recreational cannabis bill going through the legislature. And, well, it's her opinion that it doesn't look like it's going to make it through the House. I don't know, man. Yeah, you know, it's one thing, I guess, when you think about, you know, I got a right to get high on the stuff if I want to, I guess, or that sort of thing. But, you know, it extends so far beyond that. I mean, think of all the people right now that are basically political prisoners over this. 1937, they passed that tax act, and they started throwing people in jail just because they twisted up a little bit of herb from a garden in a cigarette paper. That's irrational. It's plant fascism. I've said that many times before. But, you know, I suppose I'd be halfway happy even if they didn't, legalize it. If the least they would do would be let all those poor people out of jail. Think of all those people whose lives have been destroyed because of ignorant politicians who have a bone up their butt about this stuff. It was an error to begin with. The plant should never have been illegalized. There was no actual danger here involved around this plant. So a lot of hearsay, a lot of knee-jerk reaction, and so they reacted, and we've been stuck with it for over 70 years now, and there's still people dragging their heels over trying to fix this stuff. It's a plant, okay? We grow coffee here, and we grow kava here. Coffee has caffeine in it. Yeah, caffeine is a drug. It's a stimulant, okay? It changes the way you think when you take it. Nobody complains about the fact that we're growing coffee here. And coffee does have caffeine, at least, has a lethal overdose. You can kill yourself with caffeine. You really can't do that with cannabis. And so, I don't know who they think they're protecting. It isn't us, okay? Yeah, it isn't about protecting people. The law was not put in for that purpose. There's a long history of how that law got there, and none of it's good. It's all bad, okay? Every bit of it was bad. And yet, we still have people that drag their heels in government going, oh, I don't know, man, you know. This stuff has been used by society for thousands and thousands of years. You want to know what happens? Just look. Just the world history, you know, is what happens when you smoke pot. You know, I mean, I think Genghis Khan smoked this stuff. It's been all over the planet. Well, it hasn't made things any worse than they were anyhow. So it's a stupid thing what they did, and they're continuing to be stupid. I have no idea. I wish I had a number right now of how many people are sitting in jail in this state because of this. I wish I had some politicians that listen to this channel. You realize that you're jailing political prisoners. These people didn't do anything wrong. It's our government that did the thing wrong. The government was the one that was in error when they took away our right to grow a plant and use a plant that was naturally occurring on Earth. And you're not protecting us from anything. Get a clue. All right? If you wanted to know what happens when people smoke pot, look around you. Yeah, they're all over the place, man. You know, you want to know what happens to society? You're looking at it. So the whole thing is just so completely ignorant, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen again. Now, I know. I was here in the camera the other day encouraging people to go down about the highway department meeting, and the amount of people that showed up for it was. Well, I'd say it was kind of pathetic compared to the amount of people that I know are upset about the speed limit, yet they won't do anything about it. Heck, I missed The Mandalorian because I went down to the meeting. Yeah, I couldn't watch Disney. So, I don't figure that if I get on this camera and I say, hey, contact the people in your legislature about this. There's still time. Tell them that you're imprisoning people, that this is political, and there's no real reason why any of this should ever have happened to begin with. Get over it and let's fix it. Let your people know. Say something to them, darn it. You know, that's why this stuff goes on and on and on and on, because people go, oh, I think I'll sit in my hands, you know. I won't do anything about it. Yeah, well, whatever. That's up to you folks. Yeah, I can't make you do anything about it, but think about it. If you get in them people's ears, they might change their mind. Otherwise, things really don't seem to be getting a whole lot better around the island when it comes to this darn virus. There's a lot of people that I know have been coming down with it. Now, what I have noticed is that it doesn't seem to be as extreme on the people that are contracting it at the moment. Now, it's probably because all the people I know are vaccinated, and most of them vaccinated thoroughly. So I suspect the vaccines, limit how bad the virus can be when you get it. But you can still get it once you're vaccinated, and that's happening. It's probably this Omicron variant. They say it's much more contagious. The news about all this, though, is really faded. I don't even see hardly, but maybe once a week, how many people have been, in the hospital for it and stuff. We've really backed off talking about it in the media at all, but it actually hasn't gone away just because they stopped talking about it. Ellen had a meeting with the guy from the Orchid Society there because she's going to be taking over at the show, and was picking up stuff. And well, he called the next day and said he tested positive for COVID. Well, she tested herself and didn't come up with anything, but didn't feel too good. Day later, tested herself. Oops, she's got it. Yeah, so my partner has COVID now. She doesn't appear to be doing too bad. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's too bad. She is triple vaccinated. She's got a Johnson & Johnson, a Moderna, and then the Moderna Omicron booster. I had it a lot worse when I got it because I had only had the J&J and one Moderna. I hadn't had the Omicron booster. I got the Omicron booster after I realized that I was in the house with my son who had COVID. And it was already too late because I'd already caught it. Now, we did not realize that Ellen had come down with it. And so for me, it's probably a little too late. If I am going to come down with it, and I already got it, I don't know. So far, I feel pretty good. I'm kind of tired, but that's nothing new about that. So we'll see. We'll see. At least at this point, again, I'm triple vaccinated. Plus, I had COVID, so I have COVID antibodies naturally. So I got a 4-way protection scheme here. I have to admit that I have been a little bit loose and crazy about the whole thing. I was being very careful, washing hands, masking, making sure I kept my shots up to date and all that. Well, after 3 shots and a case of COVID, I was hoping I may have some pretty good resistance at this point. I might. Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, my partner came down with it. So far, I'm not showing any symptoms. And I know we weren't careful. Okay. So, if I can get it, I will get it. Oh, I hate this stuff. We'll see with the 3 vaccinations if I do come down with it. Just, how I do, how minor it is. I hope that it's minor, because the last time around, it wasn't minor. I didn't like it at all. It was miserable. Absolutely. You don't want this stuff. If you haven't had it, well, I would say don't get it, but it's in my opinion that stuff seems to be so contagious, this latest strain, that my thoughts are that probably everybody eventually is going to have come down with this. That's probably what's going to happen. Ellen insisted, no, there's no way. I'm going to be careful. She was wearing her mask and all this stuff all over the place, and she swore there's no way, but she got it. So, yeah, state of mind doesn't help when it comes to warding off a virus. Careful action does, I suppose, but yeah. Well, aloha, folks. Y'all hang loose. Thanks for watching.